Hey there, I'm Sarah A. Chrisman, the author of The Tales of Chetzemoka.
And I'm Gabriel Chrisman, the proprietor of Victorian Cycles.
And we wanted to thank you for watching our channel. We hope you've been enjoying our videos. And we have some very exciting news for you. We're moving. So you're going to start seeing us in a different place. So we're very excited to be in our new house our new home in southern Iowa. And it's a wonderful tiny little town, and everyone here has been very, very welcoming. So we're very excited to be here and starting a fresh chapter in our lives.
A new big project.
A new big project. Now, I can write anywhere, but Gabriel needs to find a job out here.
I'm looking for a library job, and unfortunately those are not easy to find, and it means that I'm going to have to go back to Washington after I've finished up helping her get things squared away to go back to my current job, and then I'll be able to come back, well, when I find work here.
Yes, so we're going to be searching for a job for him out here.
Yes.
And Tales of Chetzemoka fans, don't worry. I've still got a few more Tales of Chetzemoka books to write in the series to get our pals up to the turn of the 20th century. And so there's a couple more Tales of Chetzemoka books coming. And I've got to live here a while before I feel comfortable writing a book about the Midwest, just because I don't think it would be respectful to plop myself down here and immediately start writing about the history of the region when I don't know the people yet. So I've got to finish up Chetzemoka, say goodbye to those friends, and then I can start writing books here. But I am excited about doing that. And in the meantime, there's a lot of work to do in this house.
There's a lot, more than we expected when we arrived. When we arrived, we found that the plumbing didn't just have a few leaks. The leaks were the only places that the water was coming out at all. The rest of it was rusted solid and all original and not going to work. And so I have had to, the last week that I've been here, I've had to redo the entire plumbing system and replace a bunch of pipes and fix a bunch of things and just learn a great deal in the process and find some really fascinating original pieces, of course, of the home, some of which aren't necessarily functional anymore, but we're going to preserve as part of the history. So that's not just the plumbing, we've also found original gas light fixtures that were in this house.
Now, unfortunately, we probably aren't going to be able to get those up and running again because getting to the gas lines would probably involve digging through the walls. And there is a lot of beautiful old plaster work here that is gorgeous.
With original paint.
With original paint. And saving that is going to be my job this summer because it is in falling apart condition. It is just crumbling, and it desperately needed someone to save it. And we decided that someone would be me.
Yes,
so.
And we're also protecting it right now from the elements. The house also needs a roof, and so we've spent a bunch of time when it has rained here learning where all the leaks are and catching them with bowls and anything we can find basically to block those off, running out of bowls even with the ridiculous number of sets of dishes that we've found in this house. And then we've also been cleaning out the trash and the junk that has been accumulating in this house for a very long time.
There was a lot of garbage to take out.
A great deal.
And I mean a lot.
And we've also been finding a few occasional things that are worth keeping and worth preserving.
Along with the possum skeleton, the dead squirrel, things like that. Savory things.
A few things you don't really want in your house.
A few things you don't want to know about.
Your beautiful house.
Trust me, you don't want to know about all of them. But in terms of why we made the move, I'll always believe that someone led us here. I really will. Because everything just lined up. And well, there were some things that we just wanted in life that we were never going to be able to afford in the Midwest.
Sorry.
In the Northwest.
Yes. Don't get those backwards.
No, I won't get those backwards. But yeah, just some things we were never going to be able to have in the Northwest. I want to have more animals. I want to have more chickens, and some turkeys would be nice. And I've always wanted a dairy cow, and that's just not going to happen in the Northwest on our budget and what we can afford. Mm-hmm. And so that was in the back of our minds. But in terms of someone leading us here, last summer we took a trip, and it was not as planned as most of our trips usually are. And at one point we came to a literal crossroads, and my darling husband, who is not a man who goes off of hunches or feelings ever, the first time in 19 years of marriage I hear him utter the statement, "I just feel like we should go this way." I had never heard him say that sentence before, so that caught my attention, and I said, "Okay, we're going that way." And it led us to a beautiful little town and a house from 1908 that needs a lot of work. It needed saving, but is at its bones a gorgeous house.
And is more original than just about anything from that era we've ever seen.
Right.
Very few people have made any changes or alterations, and there's been almost no upgrades.
And so we spent a while walking around the outside of this house, dreaming, saying, wouldn't it be amazing? But there are so many reasons why we couldn't do it, obvious reasons why it would be so impractical. And then, just as we were about to leave, a woman came along walking her dog, and she happened to be on the city council. And she said, well, if you like the house, you have to see inside. And she whipped out her cell phone, called the real estate agent, and told him to get down there. And he came and showed us the inside of the house. And we saw all the original things that are still here, saw all the garbage too. And it just sort of sunk into our hearts. And so all the way home, and then for weeks and months afterwards, we kept talking about all the challenges, especially finding him a job out here. Mm-hmm. And the challenges of fixing up the house, etc., and all the other challenges. And we decided sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith and have faith that everything's going to work out. And so here we are. And I'm pretty excited. Now, if you happen to want to help this project, help the restoration and the maintaining of this historic home, you can drop a donation through our website. There's a donate page on thisvictorianlife.com, and we would wonderfully appreciate it. And as always, one of the best ways to support a writer is by buying her books and telling your friends about them. So I hope you'll keep buying the Tales of Chetzemoka and telling your friends about them.
And then your next series, when you start it.
When I start it, but I got to finish the Tales of Chetzemoka first.
Of course.
Because as I said, I've got to learn this region before I start writing about it. And it's going to be so much fun and such a big adventure. Because so far, I'm loving Iowa. Happy reading, everybody.